So let's talk about the outlets here in Fiji. This is what you're gonna need if you come here. These are the prongs on the plug that you would use. And here is the outlet right here. So if you have any type of travel accessories and it has this plug right here, this is what you would need. And here's an example of another type of travel accessory I have. I have this right here, which you can take to any country because it is universal. It has different prongs for different countries. And the one that's already out is the prong for here in Fiji. Also, I would assume, because this is a Pacific island country, that most likely in New Zealand, also Australia, you will use the same prong to use their outlets right here. So just for an example, this is what I would use, like if I want to shave or use any of my US electronics. I would use this plug right here. And then on top of that, I will use my American prong, which is just straight out. It's 2 prongs, that's it. I will plug that into here. And then I could charge my phone, or I could charge my camera or whatever. Or if I have my laptop, which I do. Or for my laptop, I would just plug it right into here. And I could charge my laptop or any type of electronic I have from the US. Now, if I'm using something that's high voltage, say for example, my electronic shaver, I would not use this alone because most likely, because it's high voltage, the shaver would blow up. So I would use my voltage converter to plug in here. Well, let me just show you. Here we go, right here. I will use my voltage converter, which converts the voltage to the correct one. And I will plug this into here. Now, once this is plugged up, I would turn this on. This would turn green. And I would plug my electronic shaver into this adapter. I will wait a couple of seconds, then I would turn on and I would shave. So that's how I would do that. But anything that's low voltage, like your phone, some type of little camera you have, is real low voltage, you would not really need this. Anything high voltage, your hair blower, your electronic shaver, anything you could think of that's high voltage, then you would use this, and this is when it would come in handy. Being in any country for an extended period of time, what I try to do is live life like I would back home in the US. So to start my day is in the gym. This kind of wakes me up, wakes my mind, wakes my body up. Going to the gym, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, evening, any time of the day I can fit it in, it's a form of meditation to myself. It gives me time to think about the future, think about that specific day in my planning of what I'm going to do. So no matter where I travel, if it's an extended period of time, I try to find a local gym, or at least try to find a hotel or apartment that has some type of gym inside of it, or a gym that's locally walking distance. And again, it's like meditation, it's like therapy to me, to myself. I can think, I can reflect, and at the same time, I can build muscle. Now, the amount of time I spend in the gym, it varies. But with myself, I try to spend no more than 45 minutes to an hour of just straight weightlifting. And the cardio I do receive in the gym is basically in between sets, and I'm doing abdominals. So I'm constantly moving. I'm not talking. I'm not looking at people. I'm not getting water. It's straight weightlifting for 45 minutes to an hour. And after that, I'm very exhausted and I need to replenish with water and food. So this right here, this is my, or will be considered my cardio. In between sets, I'm doing some type of abdominal workout. And when it comes to traveling and also trying to be fit at the same time, it's very difficult. You'll find very few people like myself that takes fitness and traveling at the same time serious, and they can actually show you results like this. Now, I've been traveling for a very long time, and I've been into fitness, well, health and fitness, a very long time. So when somebody's serious, these are the results they should have. And I've been shredded like this almost since I was a teenager up until an adult. So I take it very serious when it comes to health and fitness and also traveling. So all three at the same time. I noticed something while ordering food. When you come to Fiji, make sure you bring a Visa or MasterCard because as you can see right here, American Express is not accepted. And you will find this in small restaurants or small vendor places. They don't accept American Express. So to be on the safe side, when you bring your credit cards, bring at least a Visa or MasterCard along with your American Express. Now, what I got after the gym was some good Indian food. Like I mentioned in previous videos, where I'm staying at, there are lots of Indian restaurants inside the mall and also on the streets. There are not many authentic native Fijian restaurants that I have came across where I'm staying at in the capital, which is Suva. So if you go to other cities in the country of Fiji, you might can find some, but where I'm staying at, I'm seeing more, as I said before, Indian restaurants. So basically, this is my everyday thing. What I do, I go to the gym, I eat, then I call my friend and she picks me up and we go somewhere. We're going out for lunch. She takes me to a mall, a shopping area, and we just discover, well, I discover because this is her native country. The only time when my daily activities change up is on weekends because my workout schedule is Monday through Friday. So it's 5 days a week and I have 2 days to relax my mind and body away from work and the gym, any physical activity. And this has been my regimen for I don't know how long. And again, it applies to no matter where I'm at. If I'm back home in the US, if I'm in a different country, this is what I stick to. One of the good things I like about where I'm staying at is that there is a market maybe no more than probably like 10 minutes away by walking. So I can get all my fruit here at a good price. I come here sometimes and I get apples, bananas, and other fruits, take them back to my apartment, and this is what I do. Depending if I have plans for a specific day, what I try to do is make my own breakfast so that the only thing that I do buy is lunch or dinner. But it all depends on if I have time and if I have plans for that day. Like, for example, what my morning would normally be like is gym first thing in the morning. So that means no breakfast. So it's gym, come back to my apartment, then make breakfast, and then from there start my day. But today I had plans, so I did not have time. So I had to buy something to eat to meet my friend. And from here we're gonna go and we're gonna have lunch. Where you going?
And I don't know when was the last time I was in a bus.
I might be wrong, but it seems like you must have this type of card to be able to get on the bus here. And this card you get before you get on the bus. So if you don't have this card, most likely you can't get on the bus because it seems like there's no form of payment once you're on the bus. It's cashless. You just have to have this card to be able to get on the bus. I could be wrong, but that's what it seemed like. When coming to Fiji and you're thinking of how it is, I could tell you in one word, the word is relaxing. It's a very relaxing atmosphere here. I like Fiji so much, well, I like Suva so much. I was going to cancel one of my trips that's coming very soon to come back to Fiji. Then I had to think about it, and then I was like, I don't want to cancel the trip, and plus I already paid for apartments, so I don't know if I can get my money back. But that's an example of how much I like this country. And then I have a future trip going to Brazil, and I thought about, hey, why not just cancel Brazil because I've been there so many times and just come back to Fiji for a second time. Then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Let me just stick with plan A and everything that I already have paid for, and just put Fiji on my trip list for next year. Who knows? Things for next year might change, but for this year, I've already paid for all my trips, paid for all of my apartments. So it's pretty much done with for this year. But for next year, who knows what's on my list. But I do want to return back here to Fiji, maybe back to Suva, or maybe I should go ahead and discover another city to see what Fiji has more to offer than just Suva. So the question of what it's really like to live in Fiji every day, I can say again, is a very relaxing atmosphere. I'm not thinking about danger. I'm not thinking about somebody's going to come up and snatch my cell phone. I'm not thinking about any of that here. It's all on relaxed vibes. I have a daily regimen of things that I normally would do back home that I do here, and everything is very accessible of where I'm staying at here in the capital. I'm trying to think in comparison of another country that makes me feel like this, and give me a couple of minutes. The only country that I can say, well, it's two. There's two countries that come kind of close to Fiji, and that would be Mauritius and Cape Verde. Now, let me take that back. Take out Cape Verde. I'm going to say Mauritius. Mauritius is the only country that comes kind of close to being the same atmosphere as Fiji, but it's just that I'm having way more fun here in Fiji on my first visit versus Mauritius. Now, Mauritius is a country, it's an island country also, and it's in Africa near Reunion and Madagascar. And I had tons of fun also in Mauritius. I have friends there also, but when it comes to overall comparison for everything, we're talking about the food, the atmosphere, the people. Fiji, hands down, just goes up and becomes the winner. And the reason I cut out Cape Verde is because when it comes to the people and the atmosphere, it's not similar or the same as to Fiji as Mauritius and Fiji. They're almost kind of the same a little bit, just a tad little bit more different when it comes to the people. But yeah, it's nothing I can think of that's comparable here to Fiji, and that's why I was going to cancel some upcoming trips just to return back to this country when I leave. I do have favorite countries and continents, like for example in South America, my favorite country is Brazil. But if we're going to compare overall, when it comes to violence, Brazil just crushes Fiji. And that's one thing I don't have to worry about when I'm here. Violence. And Brazil is like extreme violence when it comes to comparing Fiji violence to Brazil violence. And when you're choosing a country to potentially live in, this is something you have to consider. Overall, everything. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching.
As we make our way through the night, let the state of Wednesday's forecast. As we make our way through the night, United States forecast. Looking for a beautiful day downtown today. Idea for a beautiful day downtown today. The low 80s with mostly sunny skies.